Welcome, and in this week's We Can't Do It in the Lecture Hall series, we are going to be creating underwater fireworks. Yeah, that's a thing. We're going to be mixing the calcium carbide that I've used in a couple of these videos to produce some acetylene gas, and I'm going to show you what happens when acetylene gas meets chlorine gas. There's a reason we're doing this underwater. So, let's get started. So what we're going to do is we're going to produce chlorine gas in that Erlenmeyer flask. It's going to go up through the tube and down in underwater where it'll be bubbled through some acetylene gas. So to make this, you add 6 molar hydrochloric acid and bleach. We're not going to add them together just yet because first we need to add our calcium carbide into the water. Calcium carbide, when it comes in contact with water, actually forms acetylene gas and calcium hydroxide, but it's the acetylene gas that we're going to be using today. And as you can see, it bubbles and fizzes. Let me zoom in here so you can take a look at it. That is acetylene gas coming off of there, which is extremely flammable. Now the next step is to add the bleach to the hydrochloric acid, and when we do that, you can see it starts bubbling, and it's going to produce chlorine gas, which is extremely toxic. This is why we don't do it in the lecture hall. And it forms salt, sodium chloride. So what we're going to do is go ahead, once we've added the bleach, we're going to stopper everything up, and I'm going to cover the second hole. I have a second hole so gas can escape. And when you shake it, you get really cool underwater fireworks. Now when I did this, I realized that my tube was sticking out, so I went back and added a ring stand to it so the tube wouldn't come out. So let's do it in the dark here. You can really see it. This is a lot of fun. You can see my big grin while I'm doing this. This is one that I always love doing. I put the ring stand in so the tube doesn't come out. Once in a while you'll see a big puff of flame at the top. This is what happens when some of the chlorine gets to the top and reacts with the acetylene that does gather at the top. So what's happening here? That is the question. When chlorine and acetylene gas mix, the electrophilic chlorine attacks the triple bond in acetylene, and two competing reactions occur. The prominent reaction is chlorine adding across the carbon-carbon triple bond to produce dichloroethylene. When you add more chlorine, you actually are also going to produce tetrachloroethane. Also, there's a second reaction happening where chlorine attacks the hydrogen atom from acetylene to produce hydrochloric acid and carbon. The carbon is visible as black soot on the top, which happens near the top of the cylinder. And this reaction will happen at room temperature, which is kind of hard to get to happen with saturated hydrocarbons. So anyway, that is it. I'm going to go ahead and show the video one more time because it is a lot of fun. This time, though, I'm going to play it with sound so you can actually hear the little explosions happening. So that's it. I'll see you next time. Enjoy.